The village of Oakhaven was, to put it mildly, forgotten. Tucked deep within a valley, shrouded by ancient skeletal oaks, it was a place the GPS struggled to find. Elias, a historian obsessed with local folklore, arrived seeking the legendary Whispering Well, a place rumored to grant dark wishes, but only to those who truly understood its language. The villagers were gaunt, their eyes holding a distant, weary fear. They spoke in hushed tones, never directly mentioning the well, merely pointing towards the gnarled woods at the valley's edge. "Don't go near," an old woman croaked, her hand trembling as she clutched a worn crucifix. "It doesn't give, it takes." Elias, dismissive of superstition, found the well on the third day. It wasn't stone, but a gaping maw in the earth, lined with something that shimmered faintly like polished obsidian. No rope or bucket could be seen. A cold, damp air rose from its depths, carrying a faint, rhythmic sound. Not dripping water, but something like a faint, guttural breath, an inhale, then a long, drawn-out exhale. Whispers. He lowered his recording equipment. The sound intensified, becoming clearer through the mic. A chorus of overlapping, distorted voices. They weren't speaking words, but mournful, desperate cries, woven into that deep, rhythmic breathing. It wasn't the wind, he realized, because the trees were still. It was coming from the well. That night, Elias tried to analyze the recordings. The whispers grew louder, piercing his headphones, seeming to twist and coalesce into fragmented pleas for release. He heard his own name, distorted, calling from the depths. He saw shadows writhe at the edges of his vision. He knew then that the villagers hadn't feared the well for its curses, but for what it was. It wasn't granting wishes. It was consuming something, trapping something, and the whispers were the desperate echoes of its past meals. The rhythmic breathing he'd heard wasn't the well's. It was something breathing within it. The next morning, the recording equipment was gone. The window to his rented cottage was ajar, though he distinctly remembered locking it. And faintly, carried on the morning mist, he thought he could hear a new whisper join the chorus from the direction of the well. A new voice, filled with fresh terror, now breathing in sync with something vast and ancient. Elias packed his bags, the fear in the villager's eyes now reflected in his own. As his car pulled away, he glanced back. One of the old oaks near the well seemed to have grown a new, gnarled branch overnight, reaching like a skeletal arm towards the forgotten cottage he had just vacated. The well wasn't just in Oakhaven. Oakhaven was part of the well, and it was still breathing.